Welcome to the Executive Functioning for Parents and Kids YouTube channel.
Okay, so I wanted to do a quick video today on the main topic of this channel, which is what is executive functioning? It's like development. So when you have a child, they learn to walk at a certain age, they learn to sit up at a certain age, they learn head control at a certain age, they smile at a certain age. So similar to child development, we have expectations for when people learn certain skills that help them plan and organize their life. So the executive functioning skills all revolve around planning, assessing successes, failures, setting goals, that sort of thing. And we're going to go over in a different video all of the individual executive functioning skills. But the main thing to understand is that those skills are developed in what we believe is the prefrontal cortex. And that is also the area that people with ADHD have a lot of issues with. We think that's where our ADHD is, I guess, if you could like peg a spot in the brain that is impacted by ADHD, I guess. So we are comparing executive functioning skills to same age peers. And I get the sense that this is probably why we don't see a lot of diagnosis for kids with ADHD under the age of 4 or 5, because the older we get, the more obvious those developmental issues are. It's the same thing as 1 or 2 months for walking. If your baby walks at 11 months or 1 year and 2 months, it's really not a huge deal. But if your baby gets to be 2 years old and they can't walk yet, we're starting to have some really big concerns, or a pediatrician would have some big concerns. So the same thing goes for our executive functioning skills. It's a lot easier to see when they're so far behind. Now, people with ADHD usually have 1 to 3 years. They're 1 to 3 years behind their peers for those executive functioning skills. So it's not that we don't learn them, it's that they're hard for us. So at least in my opinion, I think we tend to get all of them. We just kind of suck at them. And I had someone say once, pick 3. There's a bunch of executive functioning skills, and some people will be better at some than others. These skills are all related to attention control, working memory, inhibition, problem solving. Later on, which some of these skills develop as late as 25 in a neurotypical person, we're looking at skills like being able to assess what we did wrong in a situation, not beat ourselves up, not hey, I suck, I'm the worst, not that. More man, I went into the social situation, I think I messed up. What did I do wrong? Okay, well, first of all, I think I did this, and then I did this, and maybe if I did this differently next time. So that's being able to assess and change. A 5-year-old does not have very many executive functioning skills. We learn them at different ages. And again, you can learn as late as 25 if you're neurotypical, some of the later ones. And for ADHD peer, you might be learning that 25-year-old skill at 28 or between 25 and 28 because you're delayed. But if you have severe ADHD, you might be severely delayed. If you have a little bit of ADHD, you might be not as delayed. So it's just a spectrum of stuff. Yeah, we are going to get into which skills are which in a different video because that could be a really long one. I may have to break it up into 2 or 3 videos. I'm not sure. But any of these executive functioning skills, we are comparing to the same age kid. So a 5-year-old is going to be compared to another 5-year-old. And again, we expect a little bit of deviation from child to child. Not every kid walks at 12 months old. They're not I turned 12 months, I'm going to start walking. That's not how it works. We all kind of vary a little bit. But as long as we want to see kids that are on about the same schedule, I guess. So I hope that was helpful. And let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'm going to try to cover each of the skills separately. I think it's really interesting. I really love talking about this, and I love talking about how we can work on those skills because I do think some of the reasons that I developed some of the skills I do have, a lot of it was learning it the hard way. And one of the reasons I started my practice is because I like to teach kids so that they don't have to learn the same way I did, because it sucks. It really sucks to learn the hard way. And there's skills that I wish I had developed better or earlier or differently. I think there's some fun ways to learn some of those skills that we don't have to make it be miserable, I guess. So alrighty, hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next video. Take care.
Learn more about executive functioning on happyhoneysuckle.org/blog.